Assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. On June 28, 1914, the assassination of Franz Ferdinand in Sofia set off a rapid chain of events. Austria-Hungary, like many countries around the world, blamed the Serbian government for the attack and hoped to use the incident as justification for settling the question of Slav nationalism once and for all, as Russia supported Serbia and Austria-Hungarian declarative war was. The Battle of the Frontiers. On August 24, 1914, as French and German forces face off on the Western Front during the opening month of the First World War, the isolated encounters of the previous day move on to full-scale battle of the forests in the Ardennes and the Charleroi, near the junction of the Sambre and Meuse rivers. The Battle of the Ardennes was the second of the so-called Battle of the Frontiers. 4 bloody conflicts fought over the course of as many days between German, French, and British forces on the Western Front in France. After French forces were destroyed by the advancing German left wing in Lorraine on August 20th, 2 simulation actions were launched on August 21st and 22nd in the Ardennes and further north at the village of Charleroi. The Battle of Charleroi saw General Charles Lanrezac and the French Fifth Army take on General Karl von Boyler's Second German Army. First trenches are dug. On September 15, 1914, while war in the trenches during World War I is described in horrific, apocalyptical terms, the mud, the stench of rotting bodies, the enormous rats, the reality was that the trench system protected the soldiers to a large extent from the worst effects on modern firepower. Used for the first time during the conflict, the greatest danger came during the periods when the war became more mobile, when the soldiers on either side left the trench to go on the offensive. German losses per month peaked when they went on the attack. 1914 in Belgium and France, 1915 on the Eastern Front, and 1918 again in the West. For the French, casualties peaked in September 1914 when they risked everything to halt the German advance at the Marne. Trench warfare redefined battle in the modern ages, making artillery into the key weapon. Thus, the fundamental challenge on both sides of the line became how to produce enough units to keep the troops supplied with these minutations and expand enough of them during an offensive to sufficiently damage the enemy lines before beginning an infantry advance. Sinking of the Lusitania on May 7, 1915, the ship neared the coast of Ireland. At 2:10 in the afternoon, a torpedo fired at the German submarine U-20 slammed into her side. A mysterious second explosion ripped the liner apart. Chaos reigned. The ship listed so badly, and quickly the lifeboats crashed into passengers crowded on deck, or dumped their loads into the water. Most passengers never had a chance. Within 10 minutes, the giant ship slipped beneath the sea. 1,119 of the 1,924 aboard died. The dead include 114 Americans. Start of the Battle of Samoa on July 1st, 1916. The Battle of Samoa, also known as the Samoan Offensive, was one of the largest battles of the First World War. Fought between July 1st and November 1st, 1918, near the Samoan River in France. It was one of the bloodiest military battles in history. On the first day alone, the British suffered more than 57,000 casualties, and by the end of the campaign, the Allies and Central Powers would lose more than 1.5 million men. First use of tanks. Battle of Samoa on September 15, 1916. On July 1st, the British launched a massive offensive against German forces in the Samoan River Range of France. During the preceding week, 250,000 Allied shells had pounded German positions near Samoa, and 100,000 British soldiers poured out of their trenches into no man's land on July 1st, expecting to find the way cleared for them. However, scores of heavy marine machine guns had survived the artillery onslaught, and the infantry were massacred. By the end of the day, 20,000 British soldiers were dead and 40,000 wounded. It was the single heaviest day of casualties in British military history. The Red Baron is killed. On April 21st, 1918, Rich Thorfinn, the son of Christian Nublin, switched from the German army to the Imperial Air Service in 1915. By 1916, he was terrorized the skies over the Western Front in Albatross biplane, downing 15 enemy planes by the end of the year, including one piloted by British flying ace Major Lenon Hiker. In 1917, Rich Thorfinn surpassed all flying ace records on both sides of the Western Front and began using a Fokker triplane, painted entirely red in tribute to his old cavalry regiment, although only used during the last 8 months of his career. It was this aircraft with which Richard was most commonly associated and led to the enduring English nickname for the German pilot.